Good morning. I want to talk to you a little bit about Oil and Gas Admins International. So, why would you join? Why be a part of this organization? Early on, I was looking for a way to learn a little bit more about the industry. I had been encouraged to learn everything I could about the industry. I was in the upstream research part of the industry, sector of the industry in the upstream, and was scouting around, couldn't find exactly what I was looking for. So what I did was a friend of mine and I started talking about why don't we build our own. Well, she found actually, come to find out years later, we found out that it was the draft version of the very first website for Oil and Gas Admins International and the very first announcement of the CVE. So we wanted to be a part of it. We saw that they were wanting to create a certification for the oil and gas industry for admins, and we wanted to be a part of that. So we began to ask questions and join. It was an easy match. We began to join, and I went to the very first CVE, and my heart found a home. Admins like-minded who wanted to be a part of something bigger than themselves, wanted to understand who they were supporting, what they were supporting, and understand the different elements, because this is a really huge industry. It's not just that it's global, but that there's so many elements, so many sectors, so many just the pieces and the bits and the elements of what we do. And it all interlinks so intricately that you really need to understand the whole picture. And so I stayed after the first CVE and was part of the inaugural question and answer to find out what we thought the certification should look like, what it was about. And my interest was steep, so I stayed on board and worked with LaDonna through from the beginning to the end. It was very exciting when we actually had a certification program to offer. If you've taken it, then you know it's not lightweight. It's comprehensive. And I want to talk a little bit about why I'm still excited several years later about this. I actually went back years later and took the program myself because I found that I wanted to refresh what I may have had a part of writing even. There was so much information, I had forgotten so much. And so throughout the time when this all happened, I was in the planning and analysis part of upstream research, and soon after decided I wanted to expand myself and requested a transfer into the chemical side, which or downstream side, either one, so I could broaden my capabilities. And we knew it would be a stretch. At the time that I made that request, I had no idea what a stretch I was talking about. I might not have done it if I had quite realized what I was asking for. Had I not gone through the certification program and understood some of the base elements of the chemicals and the downstream industry, I don't think that I would have made it, honestly. It gave me a good baseline to understand what people were talking about. The lingo is completely different in downstream, upstream, chemicals, midstream. It's like different worlds. And I was very grateful for what I learned. I spent 3 years in chemicals and then again made another jump and went to an E&P company, retired from ExxonMobil after 17 years, and went to an E&P, an independent E&P, as the executive assistant to the VP, and he was also the geoscience chief as well. And now I'm actually supporting the marketing administration department for their midstream gas sales. So the broadness of what I have, I could not have done this without having understood the baseline of all of these elements. The other thing is interlinking with the network. What I mean by that is admins. When you're competing for ranking within a company, you don't always have the opportunity. People have their specialties and they're not always willing to share. O&GA offers you that opportunity to share. We have no ranking values that we have to worry about. We don't share what our companies are doing, but we share our own personal advantages of what we bring to the table as administrative support, as support with the industry. I hear how another person is doing something in a great way, and I think, perhaps I can use that skill set for my own. A great example is something that one time Pam was on a conference called, Pam is on our leadership team, and I heard her talking about a certain way that she supported her team and how she was very assertive in how she did it. And I thought, well, I do good. And then I went off later and started thinking I can do better. And that it was like iron sharpening iron. And I think that is another great advantage is we inspire one another to greatness. It's the motivation, the drive, and then the action of actually doing it. And there's so many elements that I could do. I'm back in school. I'm almost 60 and I'm getting my degree in business management. I've always desired this. I have the brains, but didn't believe I could do it until I met Michelle, who is on our leadership team. And Michelle has got multiple degrees. She just doesn't quit. And I thought, she just inspired me to believe that I could. If she can, and I see her doing it every day, certainly I can find a way to do it too. She just finds a way. I don't know how she does it, but she finds a way. So I got close and started asking questions and learned a few things that I needed to know about that there was resources available. And and that it wasn't going to be easy, but I could do it. And this is what O&GA brings. This is what it's about: value. How do we bring value to the industry, to our bosses, to our companies, to ourselves? How do we share values? How do we bring value to the community? How do we bring value to our vendors? How do our vendors bring value to us? There's so many elements to O&GA. And I would just like to also say one of the things that's brought to me is I had never been out of the United States. I was able to travel to Calgary and present O&GA to a major industry leader. And that was an amazing experience. We went to Banff National Park there. I got to see the Rockies, and I was like a 5-year-old child in a candy store because I come alive in the mountains. And it was winter. We have pictures we'll be happy to share with you, but also had the great experience of spending time with admins and sharing our story and something that I believe in. I wanted to do this in my home. This is where I live. This is personal. And what O&GA offers, it's energy industry support, but it's international. We are building an international organization that will have a legacy for ourselves. I know our industry is really taking a hit right now, but it's a time of change. This is our greatest time to move forward. These are the moments that we can move forward and really become what we've always desired to be. So I encourage you to join this organization. Become a member. It's worth the money that you invest. We priced it so that you can personally invest in yourself. You don't have to rely on a company to do it for you. Invest in yourself. Talk to us. Our goal is to build you into what you need to be your best you. I'm doing it for me. I want to do it for you. So come join hands with us and be part of this energy industry support international group. And join us at the O&GA CVE that we're having. It's going to look different. You need to get your name in the pot first because we're going to have to social distance. So be on the lookout for those trailers and those teasers. And I hope to see you there. And I hope you become a member and be a part of this great organization.